And good evening, everyone, and welcome to the October 2020 meeting of Carlisle Borough Council. We will begin this evening with a moment of silence and pledge of allegiance led by our friend and colleague, Councilor Stubbe.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As noise, notifications, and the constant need to be plugged in fill our lives, driving us to distraction, I simply ask that everyone spend the next 60 seconds in silence, reflecting as you feel appropriate. And now the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilor Stubbe. Our next item up is the roll call. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Cramsey?
Present.
Ms. Fulham-Winston?
Present.
Mr. Hicks?
Present.
Mr. Hicks? I think he's muted. I do see you. Thank you. Ms. Landis?
Here.
Mr. Schultz?
Here.
Mayor Scott?
Here.
Ms. Delmain?
Here.
Mr. Spear?
Here.
And Mr. Stubbe?
Here.
All right, it appears we have all on deck, so welcome everyone again. Next up is opportunity for citizens or visitors to be heard. Madam Secretary, I don't think we had anybody that's scheduled ahead of time. Am I correct?
That is correct, Mayor Scott.
All right, at this time, we'll open it up to those who have joined us, and I believe we have one person in Borough Hall who would like to address council on a matter of government.
That is correct.
All right, he or she may approach. And as a
Hello,
reminder,
I'm Victoria Opillo Hamill, 715 Sherwood Drive here in Carlisle.
thank you.
And I came to talk tonight about concerns as I've been reaching out in the community as we've been doing community cleanups. And in our community cleanups, we've been having an issue, especially at Biddle Mission Park, where we're finding heroin needles and heroin paraphernalia. It was brought aware to the councilman here just tonight, and he did give me information of where we can further concern with the heroin usage, as well as the homeless that I speak with every Saturday in town when I feed them or I bring items to them. They have concern with other homeless and drug usage. They're in the Biddle Mission area. We had a whole milk gallon sized jar of needles and paraphernalia filled at Biddle Mission Park. So it was a really big concern because that's the park everyone says is a safe park to go for the kids. I also had an idea that I was talking with people here about, that I could also talk to Tim about later, where I've been traveling to many areas for social justice and civil rights with my 8-year-old. I'm finding that here in Carlisle, we are way higher and in looking better than what these other communities of Coatesville, York, Lancaster, Philadelphia is. That maybe if we could start some kind of mission to say, hey, Carlisle, we're the example, and that us as Carlisle residents and Carlisle elected officials, Carlisle police, that maybe we can get some campaign that we are the example of a community and not having these police that are doing crazy things, and that we're having the good community outreach, because in other areas that I'm going to, we definitely are way above par compared to the other areas I'm going to in that outreach. All right, thank you.
I thank you very much for those comments, and I'm sure Chief Landis appreciates, as we all do, that Carlisle is a good example of how things can be. So we appreciate your thoughts on that. Is there any other individual that'd like to comment before council, before we move on?
There is not, Mayor Scott.
All right, hearing none. The next item is the consent agenda. This is a list of routine items which do not require additional discussion or appear to be controversial in nature. They can be acted on by one motion in their current form. If discussion desired on any particular item, any member of council or the public may request that that item be removed from the consent agenda, and it will be considered separately. So I'll ask council first, members of council, any items that you would like to remove from the consent agenda to discuss separately this evening? All right, I see some heads nodding no. Any member of the public? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Schultz. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Fulham Winston. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it, 7-0, motion carries. If you are joining us for any items on pages 1 and 2, that item has been dealt with, and you are welcome to stay and listen to the rest of the meeting, but we understand if you have to go. Moving on to the regular agenda, I do not see any tabled, continued, or recurring items this evening. Mayor's report, reports from elected officials. Mayor's report, I have no report this month. So we'll go to reports from committee, community planning and smart growth.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just have one item tonight. I will make a motion that Borough Council may direct the Borough Solicitor to schedule a public hearing on December 10th, 2020, and proceed with notification for proposed zoning ordinance text amendment to Article XXIV or 24, additional requirements for specific uses, Chapter 255, zoning ordinance for the inclusion of small wireless communication facilities.
Mr. Gramps has made a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion on this? This is a draft and advertise involving small wireless cell facilities, specifically for 5G communication. All right, hearing no further discussion, I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it, 7-0, motion carries.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. That ends my report.
All right, moving on to employee relations, citizen participation. Mr. Stubbe.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have 4 items this evening, all of which pertain to the Climate Action Commission and appointments for the various team leads. Before starting with those, I did just want to note that we had a variety of great candidates for these positions and that we are fortunate to have a number of individuals who have signed up to volunteer. I believe Councilor Hicks can correct me, but I believe we have around 30 people who've expressed interest in volunteering on the commission, which is excellent. But at this point, I have 4 items here, appointments for the various team lead positions on the commission. First, I ask that council appoint I move that council appoint Ms. Sarah Markowitz to a 1-year term as the community engagement team lead on the Climate Action Commission. The term will become effective immediately and shall expire September 1st, 2021.
Mr. Stubbe makes a motion to appoint Ms. Sarah Markowitz to the Climate Action Commission. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any further discussion on this nomination?
I do have, I would like to make a motion to amend the expiration date to today's date for all of these members. Since we technically are going to be starting the commission upon the approval of the team leads, and we have 12 months from that, I would just make a motion to amend to have the expiration day be 1 year from today for all these members.
Okay. Mr. Stubbe, is that amendment acceptable?
Yes, I'm open to accepting that amendment. So essentially for my first motion, the term would then expire October 10th, 2021.
Okay. All right, we have an amended motion before us. Mr. Schultz, your second still stands, I assume?
It does. I was going to suggest going to November 1, but either way it works.
Okay.
I'm not going to amend an amendment.
That happens all the time where I work, but anyway. Okay, all right, we have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries 7-0.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Next, I move that council appoint Mr. Tony Underwood to a one-year term as the Planning and Analytics Team Lead on the Climate Action Commission. The term will become effective immediately and shall expire October 8th, 2021.
Mr. Stube makes another motion to appoint Mr. Underwood to a term on the Climate Action Commission. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it, motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. Next, I move that council appoint Mr. Mohammed Badassi to a one-year term as the Projects and Estimates Team Lead on the Climate Action Commission. The term shall become effective immediately and shall expire October 8th, 2021.
Mr. Stube makes a motion to appoint Mr. Badassi to a term on the Climate Action Commission. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it, motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. And finally, I move that council appoint Ms. Carla Farrell to a one-year term as the Zoning Team Lead on the Climate Action Commission. The term will become effective immediately and shall expire October 8th, 2021.
Mr. Stube makes a motion to appoint Ms. Farrell to the Climate Action Commission. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and properly seconded. Any further discussion on this item?
I was waiting until the final appointment just to make some comments about all four. All four of these folks. I've been fortunate enough to see 3 out of the 4 of them in action in their work. And I think we have some home run hitters here. I also want to especially thank Ms. Farrell because Joel and Jeff were about ready to scrape the bottom of the barrel and try to get me to step into this role. And I think we're much better off having Carla in this position than having me there.
I also was going to do the same thing on this last one because I recognize most of the names, and I am in awe of having this many great folks on this team. I can only imagine the incredible work that's going to be done with this crew. So kudos to all of you for finding these folks and for them stepping up. So thank you so very much.
We can never say there's a shortage of people that want to step up. It's shaping up just like the Human Relations Commission. We've got really great folks in these positions. So I'm also very pleased. So good work, gentlemen.
And if I may, Mr. Mayor,
You may.
Mr. Badisi is a professor at Dickinson Law. He has only been in Carlisle for about a year now. And he is already stepping into roles such as these. So that's the kind of guy you're getting in Mr. Badisi.
That's the thing we like to hear. Thank you for that endorsement, Stephen. All right, any further comments on these great candidates? All right, hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That concludes my report.
All right, and now our final item is a public safety matter. I move that council adopt an ordinance amending the code of the Borough of Carlisle adopted by ordinance number 2032 and thereafter amended with respect to chapter 244 vehicles and traffic to add 1 on-street handicap parking space at 149 East North Street, and furthermore eliminate from chapter 244-100 the on-street handicap parking space at 151 Southeast Streets. This will be, so I make that motion.
I second.
Thank you very much. Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion on this? We are adding 1 and subtracting 1. Pretty standard. All right, hearing no further discussion, I will call, or Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mr. Cramsey,
Aye.
Ms. Fulham Winston,
Aye.
Mr. Hicks,
Aye.
Ms. Landis,
Aye.
Mr. Schultz,
Aye.
Mayor Scott,
Aye. Motion
Mr. Stubbe.
passes. There we go. That was the final piece of the puzzle. Motion passes 7-0. Thank you, everyone. And now we go into new business. Any member of council have any new business they'd like to bring before council first? Is there any member of the public that would like to address an item with council this evening under new business? All right, hearing none, we'll go into reports from committee, reports from members and staff. And since Deb is to my right on my screen, we'll start with her.
Nothing to report other than I would continue to ask people to wear masks and practice social distancing and washing hands, because the only way we're going to get our economy back into reasonable shape is if we all join together and make this happen. Thank you.
Thank you. Sean Cramsey.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just to echo what Councilor Fulham Winston said, again, please wear masks, wash your hands, get your flu shot. And then as the weather is changing here, please continue to support our downtown and local businesses the best you can, especially those restaurants as outdoor seating may start to go away. Buy gift cards, do curbside to go, all that good stuff, because they're going to need our help as much as possible. And then I'll just close with, since we're not meeting again before then, please vote. Anyone listening, anyone watching, it's very important. However you choose to vote, make sure you do that. And I also want to give a shout out to our county commissioners and our employees at the Board of Elections. They've been doing a great job. They've been working hard. It can't be easy with all the changes that have occurred, but I have the utmost confidence that we are going to have safe, fair, and accurate elections because of those folks that work on that issue. So please don't forget to vote. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Mr. Stubbe.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have nothing at this time.
Thank you. Ms. Landis.
I just have one thing. So I just wanted to let everyone know that there is a ride this weekend called, we're just calling it Carlisle Rides. And normally we do a North Side ride with a whole bunch of nonprofits. It's coordinated through the Center for Sustainability at Dickinson, Tool Library, Project Share, YWCA, Hope Station, and then Life Cycle, New Life Community Church. So usually it's a whole crew of us that get together and we put a big bike ride and we take over the streets. But we can't do that this year. It was canceled in April. We thought we could do it in October. We really can't do it. So we're having just go out and ride around our borough and find something new, find something you love, and maybe just, bring someone along. So socially distanced doesn't mean it's all at one particular time. It's just, we just chose on Saturday. So, and it's not just bikes, scooters, skateboards, wheelchairs. If you have a stroller, that can be on a sidewalk. It doesn't have to be just the streets, but basically even just walking. But just get out, and it looks like it's going to be really good weather. So there's a Facebook event that you can find if it's just called Carlisle Ride. So anyway, I'll be out biking. I got a new old Schwinn Stingray for my birthday from my husband, so it's going to be fun. So I'll see you out there. That's it.
Thank you, Brenda. Happy birthday. And last but not least, Deputy Mayor.
And Mr. Cramsey stole my comments about the election upcoming. So I'll just add to that there's still opportunity to register to vote up until October 19th. I too, feel for the staff at the Board of Elections, or at the Bureau of Elections. In fact, felt so compelled to send them an email and wish them luck, because I know what they have in the days ahead of them. I also, I should note that we have Borough's leaf pickup starting up next week, or as I call it, the time of year when I complain that my son's inside playing Fortnite while I'm doing all the work outside. So get out there and get your leaves out to the curb in your paper recyclable bags.
Fortnite. Mr. Hicks.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to let I think most of council already knows, but let staff know and our residents here that I made some attempts to sort of reinvigorate our connections with our sister city, Carlisle, in Cumbria, UK. As any good public official likes to see what other municipalities are doing to deal with issues of the common good and the public good. And I think we have decided maybe the first issue that we want to discuss is acknowledging the fact that we're both working on a climate action plan right now. And I think it really is quite important in view of the fact that, in their government, they have folks who are across the all spectrum of the political spectrum, Tories, Labor, and independents, and they're each is quite well represented, and they seem to be making really good progress on their end. And I look forward to learning from them about how they're able to compromise and come to decisions that benefit the community as a whole. So I look forward to sharing, and they as well, on their behalf, I will say, based on their contact, that they are looking forward to working with us. And I hope that it could be the beginning of maybe a more concerted and enduring relationship we have with our sister cities. So I'm excited about that. And that completes my report.
Thank you, Joel. Every year I do get a Christmas card from the Lord Mayor. I think it's the Lord Mayoress this time. That's been going on for a while, but I'm looking forward to, kind of advancing that, moving beyond just exchanging Christmas cards. So thank you for your work on that. All right, now we go down to staff, and we'll start with the manager's office. Susan, Owen, anything you'd like to share?
Nothing this evening, sir.
Okay. Mr. Solicitor, anything from you, sir?
No, Mr. Mayor, thank you very much.
All right. Chief Landis.
No report. Thank you very much, sir.
You are quite welcome. Chief Snyder.
No, sir. No additional comments tonight.
All right. Community Development, Mike Skelly.
Good evening. Sorry, nothing to offer.
Okay. Finance, Richard.
Nothing at this time. Thank you.
Public Works, Mark. Okay.
Mark is on vacation. He had an excused absence, a well-deserved vacation.
Good for him. Tom Hamilton, anything, sir? Probably not. Okay. And finally, public information, Stephanie, anything good to share?
I do not right now, not at this moment.
Okay. All right. Before I adjourn, I would like to announce that council will be meeting in executive session immediately following the adjournment of this meeting. We'll be discussing real estate and litigation. We do not anticipate returning to session for a vote.
Hey, Mayor Scott, I think you missed a couple folks.
I did. I'm so sorry. I just saw Stephen pop up there.
Stephen and Espoir and maybe Andrea.
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Oh, that's right. Andrea, anything for us this evening?
No, I don't have anything. Thank you.
Okay. All right. It wasn't personal. Okay. We'll start with Espoir first. Anything from Dickinson College?
Yeah. Big updates is that there's no update on spring semester yet. Right now, folks are doing remote classes. Certain students have gotten exceptions to be on campus for research, work, that kind of thing. I'm really grateful to get to be here for that reason. Dickinson Votes has been doing a lot of hard work engaging students to vote if they are registered in Carlisle, getting them the ballots they need to get, and making sure they know the deadlines. Next week is homecoming. All the events are online, so there won't be any crazy parking, people crossing the street outside of the crosswalks and all that stuff. The Carlisle Community Action Network has been meeting, facilitated by President Margie Ensign's office. They've been starting a masking campaign in conjunction with the United Way, I believe, and conversations across the college have been continuing regarding anti-racism and kind of looking at the structures and systems that we use within the institution, given the events of this summer and also the talk from Dr. Ibram X. Kendi, that came earlier. And that is all I have.
All right, good. Thank you for the information. Stephen, what's happening at the law school?
So I just have two updates. One is from the school itself. Penn State announced some of their spring plans for the coming semester. One that did not go super well with the students was we have eliminated our spring break for our spring semester. That is out of an abundance of precaution for the safety of our students and the safety of our staff and faculty. We've also announced some additional testing procedures. I was the lucky recipient of another testing kit just today, so I'll let you know how that goes. But we are continuing with our hybrid model. The law school specifically is doing everything that they can to make sure our 1L students have access to courses in person if they can. So that has been our big push, and we continue to move in that direction. Hopefully, as things open up, we will be allowed to have more and more events come springtime, but we will see where the state of the pandemic is for that. A second one, which is a more personal one to my heart, is if you can, and you're watching this right now and you're wondering how you can get involved and help other people, be a poll worker. Poll workers are needed at all of our locations. We are lucky in this county that we have many people that do volunteer year over year. However, many of them are at risk for coronavirus and are possible that they might have complications if they were to contract the disease. So if you can, please volunteer to be a poll worker. And that is all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Stephen. Good way to close it out. All right, I don't think I missed anybody. So we thank you all, and we are adjourned. Thank you.